We are live. Welcome everybody to this Too Sweet and Short, brought to you by Too Sweet Cosplay. I am Nico.
Steve-O here.
Wildcard.
EJV.
So how about that Monday Night Raw promo to close the show? Randy Orton turning on Ric Flair. Ric Flair giving an emotional speech there. Randy Orton says Rick is just a former shell of himself. And Drew McIntyre came out after all that craziness and tried to save Rick. This was something kind of just sell their feud further for this year's SummerSlam. What would you guys think? Do you think this was the promo of the year so far in 2020, or do you think this is overhyped? I couldn't imagine too many people saying overhyped, but go ahead. I want to hear you guys' take.
I will go first. This wasn't just the best promo of the year for WWE. This was the best out of anything I've seen in the year 2020 in the industry as a whole for professional wrestling. And it's funny to me because we even had on Dynamite, on AEW Dynamite this week, we had Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson and the Rock and Roll Express cut promos on AEW. I know we're not talking about AEW, we're talking about WWE here, but add those four gentlemen, those four legends of the industry, and add Ric Flair and the promo he cut on Raw this past Monday night. How is it that five legends can do mic work better than most of the stars that we got in the industry today? It blows my mind. But again, to the point about Monday Night Raw, Ric Flair's promo, and even Randy's, that got me emotional, even before the physical stuff. That drew me in. You want to know why that drew me in? Because all of that was 100% real. You got the realism of the stuff Rick was saying about, hey, I want you to be the one who breaks my record. That ain't John Cena's record. That's my record. I became the 16-time world champion over 30 years. I want you to break that record. Randy saying, oh, Rick, you're a former shell of yourself. You're not the legend that you used to be. I surpassed you type of deal. I thought that was great because it was all 110% real. Will it lead to something more? I would like to see somebody other than Drew McIntyre defend Rick's honor. Maybe Charlotte, because they kept talking about the whole next generation thing. But here's an idea, and I'm going to steal one of Ezra's favorite things to do that he does when we do our podcast here. He likes to promote Busted Open Radio and the Busted Open Show with Bully Ray and Dave LaGreca. Bully Ray gave this little idea, which I'm going to steal here because I think it's a genius idea. What if a guy like Andrade, we all know that Andrade is soon to be married to Ric Flair's daughter, Charlotte. Because Ric Flair said the line, I'm no longer Ric Flair, I'm now known as Charlotte Flair's dad. What if a guy like Andrade picks a fight with Randy Orton in the defense of the honor of his future father-in-law? There was a moment a couple weeks ago on Raw where Ric Flair and Randy Orton, interact with Andrade, Angel Garza, and Selena Vega. And Ric Flair kind of gives Andrade the wink. What if Andrade defends Rick's honor, and this is how you elevate someone and you can build a new future top star? I think that would be brilliant. I think that would be beautiful. Full credit to Bully Ray. I'm just stealing his idea for our podcast because I can. Please don't put me through a table. But I think it would be a great idea. I think it'd be something new. It'd be something fresh, and more importantly, you're elevating and you're building a future top star potentially.
All right, yeah, good idea. EJB, what's your thoughts?
That promo, man, wow. It had me hooked from the very beginning. Let me tell you, man, that's what you call drawing you in. That is emotional investment in its purest form. And that's what it was. I was emotionally invested in that promo before the physicality even began with the low blow and the punt. Um, to me, of course, Ric Flair being masterful as he is, and then Randy Orton, with his style, to me, it just meshed well together. It was one of the, like Nico said, it was one of the best promos in wrestling, one of the best moments in wrestling this year. And to me, I think it's just overall, I think it helps build this feud a lot stronger. It adds another layer to it, which is something that's kind of been needed in this Drew McIntyre Randy Orton feud. It needed some more layers to kind of make it seem more interesting to the viewer. And I think that's what this promo did. It added that emotional investment. And I do agree with Nico on several factors, including possibly Andrade. Maybe Andrade one day going after Randy Orton because of what happened. Definitely, yeah. I agree with that 100%. Yeah, that idea did come from Bully Ray.
For the record, Ian, I don't mean to cut you off. I do fully expect Charlotte to be the one to seek retribution for her on her father's behalf, but I think it would. I'm just saying Andrade is an option.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's going to depend on when she'll be back because there have been, varying reports that say she could be back as soon as Survivor Series, could be as late as the Royal Rumble. It's just depending on when she'll be back. But to me, I think this promo was just unreal, had me hooked, and I can't wait to see how this progresses the feud with Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre and on the road to SummerSlam.
All right, wild card. What's your take on this promo and all this discussed?
Yeah, that promo really wowed me because it really reminded me how good Randy Orton is. Just as an in-ring performer and his character. Honestly, who saw this coming? Like from a storyline standpoint. Knowing that he is like who he is. I mean, he was the Legend Killer, in a previous decade. But it didn't surprise me to a certain degree that this happened. Again, storyline perspective. But that promo was just like, damn. They really went over with this, and it added a very interesting feel to this feud with him and Drew, because prior to all that, I mean, it was just like, okay, it's just another championship match, another contender for Drew McIntyre, with a legitimate challenger. I mean, that's kind of the thought process I had, but I thought that what had happened this past Monday, it elevated it, because it brought Randy to another level, to the point where he could potentially be the one to take the title off of Drew McIntyre, which would be very, very disappointing, because I really do dig Drew as WWE champion right now. But it wouldn't bother me terribly if he lost to Randy, because I think after the promo, like I said, reminded me why he is good at what he is, like, for as a performer. So above all that, I thought that was just a rock solid promo nonetheless. Could it be the best promo of the year? I don't know yet. We have to wait until the end of the year to find out, but it's at the very top of the list as one of the best, and then could potentially be the best at this point.
So I'm going to give my thoughts. As far as best promo of the year, it's definitely in the running. I'll say that much. I'd have to give it a good look over and see what other promos might be superior, but it's definitely up there. For sure, the best promo of this week, barring anything that may happen on SmackDown on Friday. But anywho, yeah, I did enjoy this. Very, very heelish move by Randy Orton. He's been very on fire this year between his program with Edge and the things he said in their feud and just the whole attitude since he's become coined the greatest wrestler of all time. I'm not the biggest Randy Orton fan. I have found his promos in the past to be kind of boring, but this year he's been pretty lit. And in the ring, he can deliver when he has a very solid opponent, and he can put on some great matches. But anyways, yeah, Ric Flair, he's a legend, 16-time world champion. Very nice of him to give him the honor, saying he'd like for Randy Orton rather than John Cena to beat his record for all those championships held. Very depressing to see Randy Orton, attack Rick after giving him his heartfelt speech. And a nice job by the WWE using the Retribution storyline to kind of, if you will, just like prevent Rick from actually taking bumps on air. Orton did the attacks during the dark and just like kind of laid him out and just, they played it safe for Rick's age on how to prevent him from getting hurt. But anyways, getting to the point, I'm very excited for this match for SummerSlam between Randy Orton and Drew. I'm fine with Drew being the one to defend Rick's honor. If Charlotte or Andrade want to go to his aid, I'm cool with that too. But for right now, going into SummerSlam, I'm totally cool with this feud. I've been enjoying it. I'm fully expecting Randy Orton to take the title from Drew McIntyre. Again, we're going to talk more about this on next week's SummerSlam predictions. But overall, great ending to an otherwise weak Raw, but that made up for a lot of that portion of the show. But that's pretty much my take. Anything you guys want to add before we close this out?
I'm good, man.
Yeah, same. I'm good.
Yay, correction. It wasn't the Retribution storyline with the power outages. It was Raw Underground. Just a correction.
Okay, well, I just know Retribution's been breaking shit and just causing hell. So be it Raw Underground, Retribution, I digress. Anyways, thank you all for watching Too Sweet and Short. Share your thoughts on what you thought of this promo and anything on this week's wrestling tapings. And also, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the Too Sweet Cosplay channel, as well as following us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Too Sweet Cosplay. Thank you all for watching. Have a Too Sweet weekend.